Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, police say no major incidents for Mass Dominic 2019. Saw is Road March King, and a digital currency pilot to be conducted within the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. The details of the news coming up.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil. Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow. An appeal for purposeful collaboration to unleash women's limitless potential to advance economic growth. This call comes from the Honorable Minister for Gender Affairs, Catherine Daniel, as Dominica joins the rest of the world in observance of International Women's Day on Friday.
We need a coalition of enlightened women and men to create gender equality in our society. Last year, on International Women's Day, the Ministry of Ecclesiastical Affairs, Family and Gender Affairs made a promise to continue working towards the full achievement of Sustainable Development Goal 5, which is achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. I am pleased to say that within the past year, the Ministry and the Government of the Commonwealth of Dominica by extension has had several noteworthy achievements. The Ministry, through the Bureau of Gender Affairs, continues to enhance the Rural Women Development Revolving Micro-Loan Facility to expand access to credit for women and vulnerable groups.
In 2018, there was a 7% increase in women trying to access the revolving loan fund to assist in post-Hurricane Maria business revitalization. The minister says just 6 months ago, the Bureau of Gender Affairs collaborated with UN Women to provide 67 farmers with grants, seeds, and equipment to assist with post-Maria farm revitalization.
One of the serious challenges faced by women is undocumented land ownership, a factor that inhibits easy access to credit. This Dominica Labour Party government has played its part in seeking to give rights of ownership to several women through the program of regularization of squatters for the meager contribution of $1 per square foot. The significance of this approach is that it facilitates establishment of legal and documented ownership, means to easy credit, and most importantly, it ensures claim to inheritance. It is anticipated that government will, in the near future, announce an external encumbrance on all government-owned lands being sold as part of stringent land use policies. This is in order to ensure that sustainable agricultural land is not being used for other purposes. Dominica continues to make significant strides in the achievement of gender equality, and government continues to prioritize gender-responsive governance, which can be seen in various sectors such as agriculture, potato production project, housing, post-Maria housing assistance for single mothers specifically, and health, the pilot health insurance program for mothers and babies.
Charles Isaac, stage name Sawa, is the 2019 Road March King. Andrea Louis has a report.
His popular rendition, titled My Brother Take My Grinder, was the calypso most played during the 2 days of Street Jump Up. In 2018, the then PRO of the Dominica Calypso Association, Davidson the Observer Victor, promised that there would be no more ties for Road March, as in the recent past, the Road March title had been shared between 2 and at times 3 Calypsonians. Current PRO of the DCA, Derek De Hunter St. Rose, explained the method employed this year to arrive at the road march winner.
Before, we would rely on people on the street, people with bars or people on the balconies to give you an update. But sometimes people go drinking and forget their count and everything else. So that would leave, a little confusion. So what we did was to call the people in Trinidad. The president called the Carnival committee in Trinidad, and they gave us an idea as to how they would go about it. So we got some judges all around the city of Roseau and gave them a score sheet. So even though you forget, at least you write down, what you heard in advance. So we came up with that count. Well, Sour, Mr. Isaac is the Road March King 2019. He had a popular hit, My Brother Took My Grinder, which was played a lot. It was played 105 times. Well, that is what our judges gave us, the results. And the person next in line was King Dice with 99 plays.
Sour receives a grand prize of 3,000 EC dollars from the Dominica Calypso Association. This is not Sour's first time winning the Road March title, though. In 1994, his song Cool Pipe tied with Tiwe Yo, sung by the Calypsonian Hurricane. And in 2011, he also won the Road March title with No Name, No Warrant, popularly known as Yow Yow. Apart from the judging of the Road March winner going according to plan, Hunter says the 2019 Calypso season was a good one.
It was a very good season, and we had fun. I want to congratulate the King, 2019 King Dice, for doing it the 9th time. I don't think anybody else can ever repeat that or beat that. And the other 3 place winners, King Bob, he was dethroned, and then Tasha P, the only female competitor in the finals, and the Weber, and all the other artists who performed on that night, including myself. We put on a good show. I think the patrons enjoyed it. The music was good, everything was just right.
One of the areas which the PRO says the association has to look at is the venue for the finals next year. This year, the competition was held at the Windsor Park Stadium forecourt, which was dubbed Carnival City.
It's a little too small. Too small, a little crampy, and a lot of people spoke about it, and people figuring how we were going to do it there. But it worked. But there are room for improvement, which we hope to work on for the next year, because Calypso is getting bigger, and people need space to jingole, as Parrot would say,
Traditional groups from around the country are being encouraged to make a grander showing during the traditional mass parade in Roseau. Acting Festival and Events Manager of the Dominica Festivals Committee, Marva Williams, made the comment while speaking to Channel 5 News following Mass Dominic 2019. One of the areas of concern which come to the fore each year is that of gaps in the street parades. Williams explains part of the reason for these lulls is that there are the smaller and fewer traditional bands which participate in the street jump-up in Roseau.
Nothing is perfect. Like everything, there's always lessons learned, and there's always areas for improvement. I think you may recall at our press conferences I spoke about the space that is normally in the road. Carnival Monday and Tuesday is not as packed as the National Parade and official opening, because a lot of other villages are having their carnival. So these same traditional groups who would have been part of the National Parade and official opening, they have remained in their different villages for their carnival. So like I said, the groupings are a bit small. So there's always a point when nothing is happening on the road, and I know some persons are concerned about that.
Williams says efforts must be made to have an improved carnival product on display in the city, as most foreign media focus on carnival celebrations in Roseau.
Different villages have their own culture and their tradition, and they want to express it on Carnival Monday and Tuesday. So what I normally say to the traditional groups especially is just come down for the traditional aspect of the parade, so it can be big, and then whatever it is that people are looking at, because people mostly from overseas, they mostly pay attention to the carnival in the capital city, Roseau. So whatever it is that we're displaying at the time, if it can be grand, then that would be great. I mean, everybody wants to make $1. Having your own carnival at the time is a time to make your monies and so. But what I've said is, if Carnival is going to continue to be a tourism product where we invite people to come to Dominica, we really have to reevaluate and consider what it is that we want to present on Carnival Monday and Tuesday.
Police say Carnival 2019 concluded without any major incident. But 8 arrests were made in Roseau District for breaches of the Carnival order, example possession of an offensive weapon. One individual in the Out District was also arrested for being in possession of an offensive weapon. No official post-Carnival 2019 update given as yet. In other police news, Ryan Shillingford, adult of the USA residing in Layu, was charged for the offense of having in his possession a firearm without being the licensed owner, namely a Smith & Wesson pistol and ammunition for discharging in a public place. That incident occurred at Newtown. Also, Samuel Frederick, male 27 years of St. Lucia, was charged for possession with intent to supply 28 grams of cannabis. The incident occurred on Saturday on the ferry terminal. And Kester Cyprian, male adult of Bath Estate, has also been charged for possession of cocaine and cannabis. There is also a picture of a box of knives on social media, believed to be confiscated by police during Juve. Channel 5 News has not received any confirmation from the police on this. Management of the Dominica Amalgamated Workers Union and the National Bank of Dominica expected to meet soon to discuss the union's concerns. Head of the Dominica Amalgamated Workers Union, Leah Shillingford, says relations between the two entities leaves a lot to be desired, even if the union has represented NBD workers for the last 40 years. The union is hoping that an upcoming meeting with the bank's management will also discuss the importance of negotiations for new collective labor agreements.
Presently, it appears that we have 3 trienniums outstanding. The first one is the triennium for 2012, 2015, and there is 2015, 2018, and now we are at 2018, 2021. So these 3 are outstanding. We would like to close the first 2 and continue to work on bringing a quick conclusion to the 2018-21 as well.
Shillingford believes newer employees are losing benefits when they are placed on contracts instead of being enrolled in the bargaining unit.
Most of the staff members who had been unionized over the years have left the bank. So we have a new generation in the bank right now. And I recognize that NBD for the past few years have been bringing in new members and giving them contracts, employing them as part-time workers. And the union have written to the banks before, and they have stopped for a while, and they've started again. And when you employ persons, young persons, and give them letters of contract, and you employ them on a part-time basis, they are released, and then you rehire them again, and this continues. Of course, they are not getting the benefits of the other staff members, and why would you employ young persons into an establishment like that when there's a collective labor agreement and employ them as a part-time on contractual basis?
Shillingford says it appears that as more senior unionized employees leave the establishment, their successors seem not to be aware of the existence of the union.
I've never heard of that before. No negotiation for salaries, and unilaterally the bank just decides that they're going to pay 1% or 0%, like for the collective labor agreement 2015-2018. Not 1% was paid, nothing, 0 for the 3 years. Okay, when in fact NBD did make a profit in one of the years, it was advertised in the newspapers, they did make a profit. They said that they would consider paying an increase. And later on we were just informed they're not paying anything, 0. So it's the relationship, it's the manner in which they do it. However, I have been informed by the general manager that he would be calling us very soon to reconvene the negotiations. And of course, I'm expecting the Labour Commissioner in the meantime, or the Labour Division, whichever, to call us and to look at this letter that was written. I'm also expecting the Employers Federation, Mr. Joseph, to come in and to share his input into the matter, because he's aware of the problems that exist at the NBD, and of course I am sure he can help.
Dow has represented NBD employees for over 40 years. And the corporate community has been called upon to lend support to an inaugural tourism development event. We go once more to Andrea Louis for more.
The Dominica Community Tourism Association, Inc. recently launched the first ever Community Tourism Enhancement Competition scheduled to take place later this month. The competition will focus on communities in the north and northeast of the country and is being based on the 4 pillars of cleanliness, landscaping, hospitality, and community involvement. Executive Vice President of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, Kevin Francis, urged the business community to be supportive of this new venture.
I'd just like the listening public to know that corporate citizens are citizens as well. You are part of this Dominica community. At the end of the day, these visitors come to Dominica, they see your brands, they shop at your supermarkets, they use your phones. At the end of the day, this is much of an initiative to help the corporate citizens and the corporate community as it is to help the individual communities themselves.
Judging for the competition begins on 24th March, and Francis assures the business community that supporting the tourism enhancement competition is mutually beneficial.
And I would just like to put a call out to all corporate citizens that please reach out to the community tourism, also the different individual community tourism associations. When they do approach you for this, let's approach this with an open mind. There are benefits that you yourselves as corporate citizens can enjoy. I know that is a sticking point for a lot of our corporate members, but also Dominica belongs to us, and it's up to us to own that.
Manager of the DCTAI, Lester Rivera, says the participating communities will be given a financial contribution, but they are also being encouraged to secure separate funding for the competition.
Some funding, seed funding we call it, will be provided to the zones, to help them to put together, to do their preparation, their cleanliness, their landscaping, and so on. But they have a responsibility to get funds themselves. So that's part of the community participation, getting the support from the community. There are business persons in the businesses, business persons, professionals, the diaspora as well, who can assist these communities in attracting funding or generating funding to put on their activity. So this is the approach to it.
The participating communities in the first ever Community Tourism Enhancement Competition have been zoned as follows: Capuchin, Tukari, and Tatan, one zone; Penville, Vieques, Tibo, another; Benz to Calibishi is a third zone; Castle Bruce and the Kainago territory have been zoned together, and Marigot and Woodford Hill. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
Si ou ni maladie HIV et bien maladie sexuelle, si ou pas protéger corps lors qu'on est sexe avec plusieurs monde, ça kay mette la vie ou en gros danger. Ou ka exposer tout partenaire au poison et que ça qui ka venir avec maladie. Servez yon condom chaque fois ou qu'on est sexe. Changer qui est important pour découvrir maladie à bonheur ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou ni maladie HIV. Pour responsabilité, protéger corps et puis les autres. Examiner corps. Aidez du bout si même maladie HIV et l'autre maladie sexuelle.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank ECCB and the Barbados-based fintech company Bit Inc. have signed a contract to conduct a blockchain-issued central bank digital currency pilot within the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. The watershed contract was signed on 21st February at the ECCB's headquarters in Bastis and Kitts and Nevis. The ECCB CDBC pilot is the first of its kind and will involve a securely minted and issued digital version of the EC dollar, DXCD. The digital EC dollar will be distributed and used by licensed financial institutions and non-bank financial institutions in the ECCU. The DXCD will be used for financial transactions between consumers and merchants, including peer-to-peer transactions, all using smart devices. For example, an individual in St. Kitts and Nevis will be able to send DXCD securely from his or her smartphone to a friend in Grenada in seconds and at no cost to either party. And the Venezuelan government is being blamed for a humanitarian crisis, but the United Nations expert says U.S. sanctions and blockades have been main contributors to the deterioration of the quality of life in Venezuela. A UN investigator and human rights rapporteur, Alfred de Zayas, wants the prosecutor on the International Criminal Court to investigate to what extent the deaths which have already occurred in Venezuela in connection with the economic sanctions amount to a violation of Article 7 of the Statute of Rome. Article 7 defines crimes against humanity.
What the United States intended to do was to create a situation whereby the people or the military would topple the government, and then the 1% could again come in and could again control the wealth of Venezuela. Venezuela had succeeded in bringing millions and millions of Venezuelans out of extreme poverty. Nobody cared in the 1980s and 90s that there were millions of Venezuelans dying of hunger and malnutrition. No one cared. It was a government that was palatable to Washington, and a government that was a right-wing government. The moment that a left-wing government came in power, priority number one in Washington was to topple it.
And now you have the Bank of England seizing the gold, right, from Maduro, over $1 billion worth, and threatening to give it to Juan Guaido.
That's yet another violation of international law. But try to bring the United States before the International Criminal Court or before the International Court of Justice. What I think is important now would be for the General Assembly to adopt a resolution condemning the sanctions and asking that the sanctions be lifted, because sanctions kill.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evo.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evo.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow. To end the news, a look again at the headlines. Police say no major incidents on Mass Dominic 2019. Sour is Road March King, and a digital currency pilot to be conducted within the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You may access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.